Let's move on and talk about how to solve basic inequalities. So far, we have looked at inequality statements that have already been solved. Now we will look at how to solve an inequality. Solving inequality statements are almost the same as solving equations, with one exception: multiplying or dividing by negative numbers. Let us start with a statement like this to emphasize the small difference. Now, we have the inequality that says negative 4x is less than 20. And notice that if this was an equation, it would say negative 4x is equal to 20. And the way that we would solve that is we would divide both sides by negative 4. And negative 4x divided by negative 4 just leaves us with x. And 20 divided by negative 4 is negative 5. So notice that there's only one solution to that equation. There's only one value of x that will make the left-hand side of the equation equal to 20, and that value is negative 5. But now we have a bunch of different possible values in our solution set because there's a lot of different numbers that are going to make the left-hand side of the inequality less than 20. Let's see if we can't test some numbers out and figure out some values that work. So I'm just going to try something like letting x equal 0. So if that were the case, I would have negative 4 times 0. And if I were to simplify that, negative 4 times 0 is equal to 0, which is less than 20. So that checks off. What that means is one of the possible x values that makes this true is 0. Let's see if we can't test another one. Let's try, how about 5? So let's say x equals 5. If we did that, we'd get negative 4 times 5, which is negative 20, and that is less than 20. So that means that 5 is a possible x value, which would make that inequality statement true. So if that's the case, can we just solve an inequality like we would an equation? Well, let's see. So I have negative 4x is less than 20. What if I divided both sides by negative 4? And I would get x is less than negative 5. Well, we know that that's not true because 0 and 5 are not values that are less than negative 5. So it turns out that when we are solving an inequality statement and dealing with negative numbers, so if we ever divide or multiply by a negative number, we actually have to flip the direction of the inequality symbol. So that is the only difference. So I would have x is greater than negative 5. So if I plotted some values on this number line, I highlighted 0 and 5. That means that 0 is included in my set of values, and so is 5. But we went ahead and solved this inequality statement, and we got like a final inequality saying that x is greater than negative 5. So I want to fill in that value or those values on our number line. So here is negative 5. I'm going to put an open circle there because we want everything greater than negative 5, and then I'm going to shade to the right of that. So that is how we would graph that inequality on a number line. So go ahead and take a few minutes to write a note to yourself so you remember how and why these inequalities are solved in this way in the space below.